Hey, it's Stacy with Bridges 52.7. Let's take a quick second to chat about Maverick. I'm a little late to the discussion on this, but I think it was really fun. I think we love movies that are hopeful, that are redemptive, that are about people coming together and working towards a mission. Nobody was tearing anybody down. There was like teamwork and camaraderie, and generally people were kind and looking out for each other. And there was, a little rivalry between the guys, but they're spurring each other on in this program toward to being better. Is that whole iron sharpening iron. So I love the way in all the Top Gun movies, both of them, you've got these people that they may be a little competitive, but ultimately they respect each other, and there is that spurring each other on to be better, to be excellent in every way, and that kind of accountability when you've got people that are really trying to be excellent together, and when your lives depend on each other. I think this is why we like so many of these kinds of TV shows and the dramas about, like, the medical dramas and the firefighters and the policemen, all these kinds of shows where their lives are on the line and they're working as a team and they've got a bigger goal to reach towards. And so I think there's kind of a thing here that just calls to us, that idea of being the body, spurring each other on towards good works, iron sharpening iron, everybody working towards a team, towards a greater goal, something that's bigger than them. And then in most of these shows, you have people who are willing to lay down their life for someone else, which is very much a kind of Christian ideal, right? This kind of goes back to the cross. It's kind of foundational to our beliefs. So when you have these stories and you have people that are willing to lay their life down for someone else, I think that always resonates in a really visceral kind of deep way with us, with our souls. So all of that is in the movie. It's just kind of part of the genre. And they do in these movies, like, it's so cheesy, but I'm like, it totally works. Like, they have these still shot, these like slow shots where somebody just smiles at you with this like captivating smile, and it's like, and it slows down. And they say something about our brain when people smile at us, how it, like, actually your heart rate can even monitor theirs, your waves get on the same, like, you will mirror your energies. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens at the things that happen when we respond. And there's a crazy video out where there's a baby and the mom is laughing and engaging with it, and then she suddenly goes flat-faced and she just stops responding to the baby, and you watch like this child just come undone. At first he's like starts getting animated, then he starts getting angry. It's like he goes through this range of emotions trying to get mom to engage with him the way she had done before, and the lack of response, suddenly he's just weeping and broken, because it's in us from the moment we are born that we relate to other people and their smiles and their facial expressions. There is a relationship there that is like deeply integral to who we are. And so in these movies, I think more than most, I'm so aware of the original and this one, how they really capture, capitalize is the word, like, where they really capitalize on this idea of having these winsome kind of faces that just sit and smile, and you find yourself smiling back. I'm watching this going, I feel so manipulated, but I like it. Like, I leave this movie feeling so much better than when I went in. And I think that's honestly part of it. All these different things that are just so feel good about it, that coming together, working as a team, fighting for something that's bigger than you, being willing to lay down your life, sharpening everybody, and then the smiles, just all the smiles. It just is the ultimate kind of feel good show. And then the victory at the end is such a thing. Like, and God made us to be overcomers. So again, I think these things just resonate deep within our souls. So there's all of that going on. But there's actually one other thing that I have loved about this movie that I kind of wanted to point out, because I think it's a little more of it may not be something everyone else thinks of when they see it, but it kind of stood out to me. But Tom Cruise walks in, Maverick, to train these guys who are the best of the best. They've always been told that they're the best of the best, and they're kind of getting a little maybe complacent about that. And they're a little smug. They know all the rules, they know all the playbook, like, these are the best of the best. And he takes the fake rule book that they have memorized, all the entire playbook, everything, and he's like, you know this inside and out? And they're all like, of course we do. And he's like, so does your enemy. And he throws it in the trash, and he was like, let's talk about things that you haven't been told, and let's redefine some things, and let's quit just living by the playbook and let's get to the thing that makes you great is not the playbook. It's like your gut and your instinct and the things that are kind of native to who you are that set you apart. And so he redefines things, and then later he has to take apart some of the rules, because he's like, they will not survive in the mission they're going into if they train according to these rules. We need to take the guards off and like put them into more danger. And we need to raise the bar. And they feel like the bar is so high no one can reach it. And he comes in and says, let me show them how it's done. And he does this thing that everybody believed was impossible. And the moment he does it, they go like, okay, so this can be done. And for the first time, they have hope. So he gives them this almost impossible thing that they think is beyond them. And then he shows them that it's possible. So here's what I see in all that. He is very much reminded me of Jesus. When Jesus comes onto the scene and says, here's all this Old Testament rule book, all you Pharisees who think you're the best of the best have been walking out and believing you've been all smug about it. You know what? The enemy knows this better than you do. And he knows all your faults, and you are going to get eaten alive if you're living by the playbook. Instead, you've heard it said this, but I'm going to tell you this way. And he starts reinterpreting the rules, and he starts showing them, first off, the bar is so much higher. You think you shouldn't have sex with someone, but you shouldn't even lust. You shouldn't even do these things. And he starts redefining the rules, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is impossible. And then he goes, let me show you how it's done. And he redefines everything. But for Jesus, it's not like, I'm going to raise the bar higher, but show you it's possible. He's like, I'm going to make a way, and I'm going to show you this is all about love. It's all about relationships. It's not actually about the rule book you've been believing. The enemy can't fight against love. That's the light that the darkness cannot quench. And so he redefines everything. He shows them what's possible. He dies and he resurrects, and he says, you're going to do even greater things than I did, because my Holy Spirit's going to empower you. And so he actually, in the movie, he flies with them into the mission. Well, that's what Jesus did, right? He came and was God in the flesh. And then he gives us his Holy Spirit. He's always with us, doing the mission with us, because he wants to empower us and help us to do the thing that we're called to do. So I actually really loved that, is this analogy of how Jesus showed up on the earth and was like, I know you know the playbook, but so does the enemy. And actually, you've kind of been lied to all your life. You think you're the best, but that pride is going to kill you. Let me instead reinterpret a few things, and I'm going to humble you, but then I'm going to empower you all at the same time. So that's my super fun, like the thing I was most excited about watching the movie is how that analogy worked out. So I hope you find your own. I hope you, as you go, you're letting the Lord speak and reveal things to you as you go, but maybe that gives you a jumping off point that you hadn't thought about before. So this is Stacy with Bridges 52.7, and we're certainly hoping to help you dig deep, reach wide, and connect your life to the Lord.